Hola and hello. My name is Sarina Patricia and welcome to my channel. Today, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be talking about proxy wars and how there is a great fear that the Venezuelan crisis might turn into one. So let's start with the definition of a proxy war. A proxy war is instigated by one or more major powers who have little to no direct consequences due to the war. An example of this is a huge war that happened in Nicaragua. In Nicaragua, in the late 70s to the late 80s, there was a war on the dictator Somoza. The Russians were backing the people to try and get rid of him and knock him out of power. During this process, the US got scared and saw that Russia was trying to get a foothold in South America. So they went into the country and backed Somoza. By doing this, they backed a rebel group called Contra, which ironically means against in Spanish. Upwards to 30,000 people, some saying up to 60,000 people, were killed during this war. Obviously, I've missed out a lot of grim details about this war, but it was a horrible tragedy that I'm very worried could happen in my country. Another example of a proxy war is the Angolan Civil War. I saw the after effects as I lived in Angola from 2007 for I think it was a couple of years, and I got to see the devastating effects that this war had on the people and the country. They were in the process of rebuilding while I lived there. Now let's talk about what's happening in Venezuela today. So the four main powers are the US, which are backing Juan Guaido, Russia, Iran, and China, which are backing the current government and Nicolás Maduro. But why are these people interested, you may ask? Money and influence. Money and influence, unfortunately, run the world. First off, money. Venezuela has huge amounts of oil reserves. These oil reserves are being used to pay debts to Russia and China. There are also a lot of other natural resources that many major powers hope to get their hands on within Venezuela. Russia is also supplying Venezuelans' military, which are with the current government, with many high-tech and expensive weapons and planes. This is just adding to the unnecessary violence that is already happening within the country. Now to influence. Russia and Iran would like to have influence in South America. This gives them a high foothold to sit on just underneath the US. They also just kind of want to irk the US a little bit. They want to scare them into thinking that they're going to have power just underneath them. As soon as Juan Guaido came out to the public that he was against Nicolás Maduro in January of this year, the US were very quick to back him. Now, wouldn't it be nice if these powers were coming into the country for the good of the people? Unfortunately, this is not the case. The US saw this as an opportunity to go against countries that are openly aggressive to them and their regime. There has been many other countries, such as the European Union, who have come out to help Juan Guaido and recognize him as president. A lot of these countries are doing it for legitimate reasons and actually want to help the Venezuelan people. But unfortunately, there are those countries, such as these major powers, that are only coming into the country in order to have influence and take advantage of the natural resources that are plentiful in the country of Venezuela. All I can do about this is sit here and ask you guys today to spread this information. Ask you guys to subscribe to this channel, turn on those post notifications, and like this video. There'll be many more videos coming up about updates about what's happening in Venezuela. There'll also be a video linked down below about a bunch of charities that you guys can get in contact with to provide supplies, donations, and just your time. A free way of helping is just by spreading these videos and spreading all of this information that I'm telling you guys about. There is also an Instagram page called #LucharParaVenezuela and a Facebook page. Gracias and thank you for listening.